Kibo presents stories of people who will inspire you, motivate you, and push you to go beyond your limits. Presenting the superstars, people who shine against all odds. This first episode, let's meet Miss Sudeshana Bhattacharya, who managed to get a job at RBI in spite of her vision loss. Let's hear it from her.
Hello Sudeshana, we are super excited to know your story.
I'm also excited.
My first question to you is, tell us about yourself and your life at RBI. Who is Sudeshana?
Firstly, I want to introduce myself as the elder daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Arun and Padda Bhattacharya, okay, who has helped me and guided me the most to shape my life in whatever way I am now.
Okay, and tell us about your life at RBI and what exactly are your roles, etc.
See, coming to RBI was a dream for me. I tried to, in my early 30s, late 20s or early 30s, somewhere like that, because I think it is in 2004, 5, 6, somewhere like that. I wanted to appear in the grade B exam that is conducted in RBI. But that time, if you can recall, that time accessibility was not that easy thing. Not in the scenario, I should say. Like, society was not that inclusive, what I mean to say. And people used to say you cannot see what you will do, and so on and so forth. Now, because of inaccessible material, I could not prepare well for the exams as I wanted to be. And after that, I came to know about the screen reader software like JAWS, NVIDIA, etc. That is also a coincidence. There's a very funny story. I visited LV Prasad Eye Hospital in Hyderabad with my father, and there they could not find any cure for my eye issue, and they sent me to the rehabilitation center, Vision Rehabilitation Center, and there all of a sudden I came to know they were suggesting me getting married and all these things amongst all. So within that conversation, they told me, do you know about any screen reader software? I was surprised, what is it? Then they introduced me with the screen reader software like JAWS, and even the screen magnifier, Magic screen magnifier, because I had a very little vision then, also a marginal vision, that too in left eye only. So I was very much excited to know this. Okay, I will be able to access computer, because that was a passion for me. I used to code. So I had a passion for coding. Now, on returning home, I explored, and my auntie, my youngest maternal auntie, she advised me to join some, she got some connection, and she advised me to join an NGO where I got the training on this screen reader. Now, I joined IT instead of getting into any government sector jobs, because those were not that computerized at that time. So I was inclined to join IT sector, where people will not say ki less output, you are giving less output, people will not criticize and all these things, they will not make charity and all. So I become inclined to join IT sector. So when I joined IT sector, I worked in two companies. One is Metalogic Solutions Private Limited, Systems Private Limited, and the second one is Wipro in Infotech. Now, while working in Wipro Infotech, I got some health issues, and without my parents' consent, for the first time, I left my job. Then I was just without any job and extremely frustrated. One of my very good friend, she suggested me, there is only one vacancy in Kolkata, RBI. Would you like to join? Then you have to prepare for the same, and accordingly you have to appear the exam. Now, many people think that, did you get any connection there? But in RBI, there is no such system. So I appeared in the exam, and I was lucky to get the opportunity. I cracked the exam and got into RBI as an assistant. Then I got promoted gradually to officer cadre. That's it. That is my journey to RBI. And currently I am working in the Office of Ombudsman, Banking Ombudsman. It is a very, very interesting role. Very, very interesting role. That's it.
That's amazing. In fact, it's so nice. You've explained it so well, your journey till now. And it's genuinely, I am also inspired by it. So kudos to you.
No, it's not. No, actually, I was very much passionate about coding. I am a Oracle certified professional actually. So wow. I never thought that I would be in government sector, and I always wanted to be in IT sector, but things did not work me so well for me because while I was into coding, I got opportunity to code for some graphics. Like I was in a project called Grameen Phone, and there I was asked to code according to the telecom diagrams means instrument diagram they used to provide. So I found it very difficult to code according to the diagram because there was no such software which used to read the things as it does now, at least to some extent. Previously it was not there. So I just had to leave it actually, because when you code something, you have to be very accurate about the design and the thing. You must appreciate.
Absolutely. I love coding too. I know the basics of coding, but yeah, I do know that you have to be very, very particular when you code.
Yes,
one bracket,
actually,
one comma.
Yeah. No, apart from the syntax, you have to be very, very specific about your logic, very, very particular about your logic. So unless you understand the diagram of the thing, it is very difficult to code properly that will not work, right?
Makes sense. So moving on, Sudeshana, my next question for you is, what are some of the challenges that you believe you have faced in your journey so far, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Our first challenge, though very little. Actually, when I see people facing huge challenges, facing multiple challenges, very recently I happened to see a video of Miss Alice Williams. Perhaps you have also seen. I thought how people like this means though they are God gifted, so I didn't face that kind of a challenge. Still, means challenge is challenge only. So when I was just first admitted into my first school, friends are young like me only, na. So they used to be very curious and very critic about my vision. They used to, like uh, we used to start leg pulling, used to like crack jokes on me. My parents were very much reluctant to uh, get me into uh, any special school, because they had a belief that okay, means she must know the society as a whole, and when from the very childhood she will be uh, put into it, she will be more able to cope up with the society or with the surroundings. So I learned to ignore those comments. They used to pass comments, okay, this low vision girl has come to school, she cannot draw, like these type of things. So I learned to my father used to say, don't say that I am the best, but always keep in mind that I am not uh, worse than anyone. Okay, so this was my what should I say, this was my Vij mantra, you can say. I don't know, means the secret of my success, you can say. So this is the challenge started. Then you are doing the board work. After that, making the handwriting, I was very perfectionist. Even I am now very perfectionist about every small thing. I wanted to make it perfect. So when I used to write my homework, I used to write the classworks and all these exams, everything, I was trying to be very perfect, and that took a lot of time sometimes. So I had a very less chance to read outside books. Now I am reading. That is again. And mostly when friends used to move out, my parents were very much protective and to some extent conservative. Don't go alone, come back home as soon as possible, or from school don't go anywhere. And even in excursion they didn't allow me, like that. And from the society and relative aspects, they always tried to keep me isolated, keep me separate, and make me understand that you are something different. But my parents didn't allow me to think like that. I never learned. Okay, I always used to take me as an individual, just like my sister, just like my other cousins, and used to be treated like that only from my parents and from my younger sister also. Then after completing, finding job was a big challenge. No one was confident enough to offer me, to recommend me to a what should I say, to any, means they were confused what job to offer and what job to recommend, suggest me, like that. They were in the opinion that I will be able to give so-called less output. I am very surprised now when I see that people will all the physical ability, just sit and chat and take teas and snacks and all these things. Their people don't consider it to be a less output. But when people have a genuine challenge, they just demarcate it. They just point out it to be a person with less output. This is, I think, a discrimination. So social discrimination was also a part of challenge, I think, to me. After getting into job, people was very less confident about my ability. I remember that when I joined Vipro, some seniors were very much skeptic, and they used to ask me, will you be able to do so? Will you be able to do that or this? Like so many questions. We are not, as a whole, the society is not very much sensitized, I should say. Now the thing is that uh, you know suppose I am doing my work, but as a sighted colleague, as a physically fit colleague, you should at least be sensitized enough to understand how I work. At least have some confidence when I say that is very much lacking. That is a big challenge. And so we people are provided with very less opportunity to prove ourselves. Now even getting into RBI, let me complete the Wipro part first. Then after passing of 6 months, I think my as a reporting manager and the delivery manager of the team, who is the senior most person there, told me that when you submit any data, I can just forward it with closed my eyes closed. I can rely it to that extent. So that is my achievement. I think I could obtain the confidence on his part, on the senior's part, of course. And while I submit my resignation in Wipro, he told me, why are you submitting resignation? You will be sitting idle at home, right? I told, let me think. I'm not feeling comfortable, and I don't think this is my cup of tea. Then he suggested not to leave the job, not to quit the job, and reconsider my thoughts of resignation, plan for resignation and all. Then I didn't stop. I quit, and finally I got the opportunity to get into RBI. Now again, when I joined RBI, I had a marginal vision. There are also some challenges, like people are not habituated to see people like me working, walking around. Even these days also, when I walk with a cane, okay, come right, then come straight, then come left, like directions come. But I never be so rude to them that, okay, I am fine. I just give a smile and say, okay, thank you, but I know the way I will be managing this, like that only. So now, because of this type of sporting attitude, I got affection and cooperation from my office to a great extent, and I don't feel isolated or left out in my office anymore. For proper job mapping, initially I got some challenges, but this attitude of mine and the faced for a proper job role where I can contribute meaningfully has finally given me an opportunity to work to my, what should I say, efficiency, to my level best. That's it. A long story.
Absolutely interesting story. That is so nice. I mean, so glad to speak with you, because your attitude, the way you said that, the one line which stuck with me was that you might not be better than anyone, but you're not worse than anyone also.
That is the what should I say, the टैगलाइन होता है ना, वो मेरा टैगलाइन था पापा की तरफ से.
That's amazing. So moving on to our next question. So you mentioned about the challenges, the discrimination, and a lot of challenges which were faced. So in your journey so far, how has Kibo helped you? Has it helped you gain more confidence? What are the most essential features?
And very
what
much.
has what role did Kibo play in your life?
Yeah, actually, as I told that I was looking in different departments. I have been posted so far. In RBI, I have completed more than 9 years, 10 years going. So uh, when I joined, people don't know, as I told, that society is not sensitized enough about how we, the visually impaired people, can work efficiently. So there is always a gap between the ability and the job mapping. Now, the same happened to me as well. So in different departments, though I used to work, but persons used to have less confidence, particularly in operational department like banking and so on. So the thing is that one day when I was asked about the assistive devices there, I told the HOD of my department that, sir, I'm very happy with my assistive devices. They give me JAWS software. They gave me, what should I say, an Android device to, then a different application was there. So they gave me that also. But I told that, okay, I think people tends to be reluctant to be confident about my work. So they cannot rely on my work fully. So, sir, may I request a desk where people can have confidence? That is the quote unquote I am saying. I told that people tend to have less reliability, the less credibility on my work. So may I request a desk where I can contribute to the organization meaningfully and where people can have confidence on me. Within 7 days, I got transferred to a department that is Consumer Education and Protection Department. Okay. And that is a very, very interesting department because in Reserve Bank, you may be aware that in Reserve Bank, we don't have the general banking as a whole. But when you are in Consumer Education and Protection Department, you have to deal with different cases that the consumer faces in other banks. So we have to resolve the issue and resolve their grievance, talk to the banks, and so you have to be very conversant with the banking ideas and banking means rules and guidelines. So there, when people send the scan copy of their complaints, people sometimes send the hard copy to RBI. Different type of inaccessible documents reached us. Now I was trying with multiple applications, I can name them, but I don't think it will be the right place to name any software. So apart from Kibo, so I am coming to Kibo. So when I was exploring desperately for different applications, one fine morning, the Access India mailing list gave me the idea of Kibo, and I don't just can recall the name. I called him immediately, and I was introduced to Akshita Srivastav. She helped me a lot. I can't say she helped me a lot. And then she introduced me with some team members where for some period, I was a part of the Kibo testing team. Like how the Kibo is working. Is it working with the inaccessible documents and all like that? So I found it very efficient and all. Then I installed it in my phone, and whenever I changed my phone, I installed the Kibo version. Kibo app, and with Kibo, the most useful thing that I got is, I am happy with rather, is the accurate reading of the documents. it gives me a totally a good idea about one or two character recognition may be incorrect, but the overall idea, the accuracy being 90%, 85 to 90%, it gives me the idea about the document, and I can manage. So that is the way. Before that, when I was exploring for documents, I have to depend on different applications. Sometimes this, sometimes that. I have to change this, that. And thanks to Kibo team for the most awaited Kibo desk, because before that I had to transfer each and every document from my laptop to my phone, and every time I used to ask Akshita ma'am, is there any desktop app? Ma'am, is there any desktop app? Now finally I got the Kibo desk, and I am very, very happy with it. So the thing is like that to me. I take a regular subscription of Kibo desk app to get my documents read, because I have to read a hell lot of documents each time. If I need to copy them to my phone and then get it read, it will be extremely difficult. And at the same time, using multiple devices is also very difficult, because I use earphone. Again, I have to talk to the bank's nodal officer or the grievance redressal officer on phone. Means how many? I have only 2 years, so I find a keyboard desk very, very, very useful for me. That's it. But I'm very, very sorry to let you know that after introducing the column structure reading feature, the accuracy, I am doing something wrong. Again, I will ask Bonnie sir, as I do usually, to help me out in this regard. That's it.
Definitely, I am sure I will pass this on to Bonnie as well, and I'm sure he will get back to you.
Yeah. Every time, whenever I just called him or sent him a WhatsApp message saying, "Sir, I need your help," sir came up with support at the earliest and solved my issues.
Definitely. That is what we aim for. Like, honestly, it's very important that you should be, the device should be useful to you, and you should be having maximum satisfaction. So that is definitely there.
Kibo has definitely achieved that. That I must say.
That
and then the reading of means OCR conversion of the regional language is also an added feature, because JAWS, the most useful, widely used screen reader, it has its own OCR feature, but it doesn't get your documents read that doesn't convert the documents written in different regional language. But when you have to read the documents in hard copy or soft copy, whatever, you have to read, means my job role demands reading documents written in different languages like Hindi, Bangla and all. So I must have some, because otherwise that will create a barrier, na? I will have to depend on someone for reading the those materials out of each case, and that is very difficult, I think. So Kibo has done that task, and I am ever grateful to Kibo team for that. I'm waiting for many new updates and success for Kibo team in future.
That means a lot, genuinely, Sudeshana. So with this, the last question from my side for today is, what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to everyone out there?
It may sound a bit rude. Still, when it comes to my suggestion, it will be like me only. I feel that only people will come forward to me. This doesn't work very well. So when people face with challenge, he or she has to change his attitude. Like, well, people can help me, but you have to be satisfied with a little. You have to be, comfortable enough with them. You have to, I mean, don't be always complaining. Instead of try to be happy with whatever you get, and try to find a workaround with that only. That will reduces the challenge a lot.
Absolutely, that makes sense. And thank you so much. It has been
Thank you, Kibo team, for giving me this opportunity to express my ideas and express my gratitude towards my parents and teachers who helped me shape my life like this, through this platform. If it comes to public, then I really got an opportunity to express my gratitude towards them, my seniors who helped me, who had guided me through the way, my mentors, teachers, and all. Thanks a lot to Kibo team for giving me this platform.
it,
That's all.
the pleasure is genuinely all ours. Thank you so much. I'm sure all the young people who aspire to work and who aspire to work in RBI, who aspire to work in their lives, will be very much inspired once they listen to your story. So genuinely, we cannot wait to put your story forward there so that millions of other people can be inspired. We will be sending you the links of like whenever we post it, we will be sending you the link so that you can
Thank
also
you.
share it with people you know and in communities, etc., so that more and more people can be inspired with the same.
Thanks a lot to you, Bonnie sir, and entire keyboard team again, for listening to my, listening to my story for such a long time. Thank you.
It was very interesting and very inspiring. Thank you so much, Sudeshana.
Thank you.
And here we come to the end of today's episode. We'll be back again with more such stories of people shining against all odds. And we call them the superstars.
Crystal Labs, unlocking aspirations.